Okay, it is 6 p.m. We'll call to order our Planning Commission meeting for September 28th, 2022. Can we get a roll call for attendance, please?
Chairperson Nico Luciano,
Here.
Vice Chairperson Rodriguez Ceja,
Here.
Commissioner Jackie Lopez,
Here.
Commissioner Gabriel Fajardo,
Present.
and Commissioner Gloria Franz, absent.
Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to Pledge of Allegiance. Vice Chair Ceja, would you be so kind as to lead us in the pledge?
Absolutely. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Jessica, do we have any public comments on items not on the agenda tonight?
There are no comments.
There are no comments. Okay, being there are no comments, we'll go ahead and move forward to the minutes. Do we have a motion to approve minutes of September 14th, 2022 meeting?
A motion to approve, sir.
I'll second.
Okay, can we do roll call vote, please?
Chairperson Nico Luciano,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Rodriguez Ceja,
Abstain.
Commissioner Lopez,
Yes.
and Commissioner Fajardo.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Next, public hearing items. 5.1, Resolution 2036, conditionally approving design review for architecture, site plan, parking, circulation, and landscaping for Home to Suites by Hilton Hotel and 2 restaurant or general retail pads. We have a staff report.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to meet you in person for the first time or for in person. My name's Kendra. I'm Principal Planner, and I'm going to be turning it over to Ms. Maribel Covarrubias, Assistant Planner, to discuss the staff report.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Maribel Covarrubias, Assistant Planner with the Community Development Department. Item 5.1 on the agenda tonight is the Home to Suites Hotel project, and it is a design review application. The project is located at 80653 Highway 111, south of Highway 111 and west of Young's Lane. The general plan designation is mixed-use neighborhood, and the zoning for the property is regulated by the Highway 111 corridor-specific plan. From the map, we can see that the project is surrounded by hotel, commercial, and residential uses. The Palms Shadow Inn is located west of the site. Located east of the site. Roger Dunn Golf to the west, and Shield Storage, followed by residential, are located south of the site. The project site is currently vacant, but as we move into the next few slides, we will get further insight on what is proposed for the site. May I have the site plan brought up, please? That one's it. Okay, the applicant is requesting a design review approval to construct a 4-story tall hotel and 2 restaurant or general retail pads on approximately 3.89 acres of land. The proposed site plan before you reflects the layout of the proposed development. The hotel will be located south of the parcel, while the proposed restaurant and or general retail pads will front Highway 111. The restaurant or general retail pads will be able to be developed to accommodate a 3,500 square foot restaurant and or a 6,000 square foot general retail use. Also shown here on the site plan is an optional drive-through detail for the proposed building number 3, However, that is not part of the design review approval tonight. For your consideration tonight is the hotel and the 2 retail pads only. The added detail depicts potential future uses, and these proposed uses are speculative and would require separate future entitlements. We can move on to the architectural plan. The architectural elevations reflect a modern building facade with an overall building height of just over 161 feet at top of parapet and approximately 143 feet at roof level. The total building area for the hotel is proposed at 69,720 square feet. As shown here, the exterior finishes include stucco, limestone, and metal with a neutral color palette. Here we have the north, south, and east elevations. Moving on to the landscape plan. The proposed landscape areas are along the perimeter of the project site, the entryway on Highway 111, and within the hotel's open spaces, with additional landscaping dispersed throughout the parking lot. The proposed landscape consists of trees such as mulga, live oak, and varying dwarf citrus trees. There are several shrubberies proposed, including multiple species of bungavia, Tacoma stands, and Tuscan blue. The proposed landscape plan also includes desert accents, including various cacti species, grasses, ground cover plants, and stone and gravel materials. A primary ingress and egress point is proposed here on Highway 111. The associated parking lot generally occupies the southern portion of the property. 196 parking stalls are proposed to be provided for the project, and amenities for the hotel include an outdoor pool, an outdoor lounge, and patio area, desert garden, which are all seen here on the west side of the hotel. Here are more details on the landscaping plan. A little bit more of a close-up on the amenities provided by the hotel. And here are some of the proposed trees for the landscaping plan. I think that's it. Maybe go back to the PowerPoint. To conclude, staff recommends adopting resolution number 2036. 2036, approving the design review for the architecture, site plan, parking, circulation, and landscaping for the Home 2 Suites by Hilton Hotel and the 2 restaurant or general retail pads, and to determine the project is exempt from environmental review pursuant to section 15332, class 32, infill development of the California Environmental Quality Act guidelines. That will conclude my presentation. I am available for questions, as well as the applicant is present for questions.
Okay, do we have any questions for staff, or would we like to hear from the applicant?
I have a question. The proposed commercial sites, do we have an idea what that would look like? Is it going to be like restaurant or?
The proposed uses are speculative. They can be a restaurant or a retail establishment.
Yeah, there was an example there, so I wasn't sure if that was what was proposed to bring in.
Are you speaking to the detail of the?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just
Just for,
proposed,
okay.
just for what could possibly potentially fill in that general retail pad. Yes. Sorry.
Quick question, if I may, too. Thank you for the presentation. So just curious on the turn lane into ingress into the hotel. Is there a proposed plan to have somebody traveling that would be westbound on 111 to be able to turn left into the facility?
That. Give me a sec. Oh, yes.
Because I don't think there's any way to turn now, if I'm not mistaken.
It's another. IT, may you help me navigate
No,
to the aerial view?
Okay, it is restricted to right turns in, right turns out only. It's not gonna have full turn-in movements because of the existing medium.
Are they able to U-turn over there, like where Jackalope is? No, correct? They'll have to go all the way to Jefferson?
Yeah, that is correct.
And is that intersection a no turn? Or I think you can make it a turn at that intersection. I just want to be clear for residents who might have a concern because of traffic congestion, result of that non-existent turn and the impact that we have on neighbors. Oh, I'm sorry.
Forgive me. The question was, and I just wanted to verify whether or not we still have a U-turn signal at Jefferson and 111, right? So that's the first question. I think there is. I can be wrong. And then, of course, what would be the proposed impact for traffic knowing there's no left turn lane?
And that's nearly about a half a mile.
I think
Past
so.
that, that could be problematic.
Yeah, that's not gonna affect this project. That will remain as it is. The signal's not gonna change, that one at Jefferson and 111.
Okay. Just looking out for potential clientele who may be frustrated getting access to the hotel.
Okay, so if there's no more questions from staff, for staff, then we'll open the public hearing and hear from the applicant.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maribel.
I believe this is on. Good. Thank you, Maribel. I appreciate your report, and I don't want to, make this any longer than we need to. My name is Mike Rowe with the MSA Consulting Offices in Rancho Mirage, actually residents of La Quinta. The project is kind of interesting. This client actually came to us about 4 years ago and was trying to do this project, and then obviously with COVID hit, and it kind of hurt the hospitality. We're excited to see them come in here. They're a large hotelier in the Midwest and across the United States. This is their first venture into California, and they're excited about coming in here. They actually own these hotels, and to kind of answer some of the questions that I was hearing at the dais here is. There is no user right now for the commercial spaces out front. We try to show some options that what we want to do is be able to make them complementary, obviously, to the hotel, and that's who they're going to want to see up there too. So that way they're ancillary uses and they're complementary to each other to be able to offset, because obviously it's the front door, it's the front gate to their hotel, and they want to keep that as open as possible. We have looked at this as a right in, right out, doing the U-turns as you need to, coming down Jefferson to make the entrance for the access to it. Yeah, we'd love to have a left in, but I know there's some restrictions out there because of the location to the existing traffic, but we would definitely support a condition if you wanted to make a left in on that one. That'd be fantastic. We have a representative of Kenseth Hospitalities here. Unfortunately, Les Kenseth couldn't make it. He went to his new vacation home in Florida, and unfortunately he is stuck there. And so hopefully he's okay. We do have the architect who I think is trying to log in online. So if you have any questions to him, we can have them available. We're here. We also did the landscaping plans. We've been looking at this project for a long time. We're proud of this project. I think it's going to be a great asset to the city. And hopefully it's in the right location. You guys can see that too, to get these guys encouraged to maybe do some more stuff down here in our valley.
Question in regards to the potential restaurant or retail spaces. I mean, definitely a restaurant tied to a hotel makes a lot of sense. Should one of them or even both of them end up being retail spaces, what type of retail would you envision? Like clothing, shopping, like
Probably
convenience store, like
probably maybe not like a convenience store, but maybe like a phone, the Verizon, something like
Okay.
that, so that you can have something that, because the Home 2 Suites is geared toward the business sector. And so they're going to have the complimentary services at the hotel. So you want to be able to have that. Maybe a Starbucks would be a nice opportunity, something that goes along with the business, the longer term, not necessarily the shorter term type opportunities, because of the way this hotel chain is set up. But
Okay.
they're looking at them. They were looking very, very hard at them a few years ago, but because of COVID, and now it's a timing thing. And when can we deliver? Makes a lot to do with it. If we can move forward, you'll see them being very aggressive and trying to get that right person in here and talking to the city staff to try to help get that those types of uses in there.
okay.
And they'll all have their own separate CUP for their building and stuff. We'll just do the pads and the infrastructure for this part of it.
Correct. Okay.
Follow-up question, if I may. So will the developer in this case or the owner of the property have full rights to secure those tenants, or will that be a condition for the city to secure the tenants of those two retail potential places? Thanks, Kevin.
So Kevin Snyder, Director of Community Development. So this project area is subject to the Highway 11 Corridor Specific Plan that the Planning Commission previously reviewed and recommended onto Council. Council conducted their public hearing and adopted the specific plan last week. However, they did reserve the right to themselves to make final decisions on uses and design. So in the instances of land uses that are considered limited land uses, drive-through restaurants, car washes, and convenience markets and gas stations, the Planning Commission will act as a recommending body, similar to like you do for tentative maps. And then your recommendation will go to council. They will conduct their own public hearing. So a future applicant will have a choice. They can get the use cleared first if they're not sure about the design, and they can come back separately, but then they'll have to go through that process I just described twice. Or if they're clear about the use and they're clear about the design, they can go through once. So that's the process for this corridor. So as Mr. Rowe was describing, the future decisions to be made, then they'll come back to us. Although it is, and you're aware of this as a commission, but just for the record, the specific plan has what's called limited land uses, which I just described, and is broken up into 27 sub areas. Each sub area has a maximum number of those limited land uses. So if, for example, this sub area that this project is in, another party comes in and or other parties come in and they obtain approval for one or more, let's say 2 limited land uses, it may be that a limited land use such as a drive-through restaurant may not be allowed on this property because it's already been executed in that sub area. So it's kind of a who gets in first
Right.
scenario.
Thank you.
Any other commissioner questions?
I have just one more question, if I may, and I think it's part of the public comment. It was one of the questions I wanted to ask, and maybe you can speak to later. But in terms of the individuals who will be employed to construct this particular hotel and future employees of the hotel, what's the opportunity to ensure that there's opportunity for local residents to be part of that labor pool?
I don't know if we have the just to answer your question with your question, to ensure that that it's going to occur. I can assure you that they will be looking obviously for the local labor pool for construction to be able to do this. These guys do these hotels all over the nation, and they don't just bring their own crews with them. They hire from the local, but they do have their own project managers because they know what to do and how to build these things. So you'll have the local the local services from the local vendors and the local contractors out here to build it. And then from an employee standpoint, obviously you're going to find local people trying to staff this thing. And I hate to use the word insure though, but I can assure you that is going to be the case to be able to make this thing be complementary to the community as well.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
Tacking onto that, what type of staffing levels do you anticipate, hiring?
I don't want to commit him to this one.
Like in season, what would you say is a full
Approximate
staff?
employees, we'll approximately have, Aaron Maley, Kinseth Hospitalities. Sorry, we'll have approximately 30 employees at the property.
Okay. All right. Jessica, do we have any other public comments? I know there were some public comments entered today into the record.
Written comments were received and distributed to the Planning Commission and posted on the City of Indio website and meeting agenda portal. But other than that, there are no public comments.
Okay. If there's no public comments, if you don't have anything else to,
If you have any more questions, we'd be more than happy to answer.
okay, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Do we have any?
I was just going to say on the retail sites, we want to maintain control and we're going to be very selective of what goes in there. We definitely want something that complements the hotel.
Mhm.
It's not going to be a nuisance to guests. So I just wanted to throw that
Okay,
out.
thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Make a suggestion, or should I make a suggestion afterwards?
No,
I was to say, we need more like places to go eat, restaurants, maybe a little dive bar, someplace you can go, because there's not a whole lot down that 111 corridor. So
And that's a tough market. If the right fit is there, I know they'll be looking to accommodate that. I mean, it has to be the right user, obviously, for this area. And I think you're going to see them looking for quality of the user to go in there and try to, if there's somebody available, I know we're working with the staff too, to see if there's some opportunities to somebody that wants to come into this corridor looking for a site that's available. We can turn them on to them as well so that they can maybe even help them do a design build or something to help get them up and going.
And we're working with a company called the Retail Coach, which I think was recommended by the city of Indio to bring more retail and fast casual restaurants into the city. So we're working with that company.
thank you.
thank you,
Actually,
gentlemen.
just really quickly, how long do you expect for this project to be completed? What's the turnaround?
Start of construction completion is about 14 months.
Gotcha. Thank you.
I would just say, just please make sure we're invited to the groundbreaking.
Yes,
Will do.
please.
Should not be a problem.
Not a
Thank
problem
you.
at all.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Appreciate you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Groundbreaking and grand opening.
All right. Okay, so we'll close the public hearing. And do we have any commissioner deliberation? Any comments?
I can go ahead and start. I think this would be a great addition to our 111 corridor. Oh, that I was gonna get in trouble for saying Scott. It's coming out of. I think we only, from my understanding, we have maybe one hotel down 111 in between Shields Road and Madison. Is that correct, Kevin? But I think this would be a great addition for that. I know some of us had been waiting for something similar across the way, and that kind of fell through during the Great Recession. So hats off to you. Looking forward to this project being approved. And again, we need more retail and restaurant spaces to sit and eat in Indio. Thank you.
Chair, if I could, just to respond to the commissioner's question. Well, Dan, I just did a quick memory check on each other, and I think we have in that section of the corridor, we have 2 motels, but I don't think we have any current hotels. So just
I
wanted
think
to.
is that Travel Lodge still active? And then there's, I think,
Oh,
2
boy.
smaller, like,
One Western San. So I'm
Motels.
sorry, there is
Yeah.
there is the Travel Lodge, which is technically considered a hotel.
Yeah.
I forgot about them. My
Yes.
apologies. And then we have Palm Shadow Inn
and then one
Western
on the other side,
Sands.
right?
So
One
I think,
across
the
It's
street.
more of a motel, I believe.
Yeah,
yeah,
across
so
the
Western
way.
Sands and Palm Shadow Inn are motels, and then the Travel Lodge, thank you,
Yeah.
Chair,
So-
for correcting me, is considered a hotel property. So I think in this section of the corridor, that is it, unless my memory's failing me.
I think this would probably be the first one in the last 25 years.
Definitely, I
perhaps?
think, I don't know the exact date when Travel Lodge was built, but I can definitely say that it's probably, your time frame is not too far off.
1990-ish, yeah.
And so certainly, and this would be obviously a more modern design, as you've seen in the pictures, consistent with kind of the modern design thematic that the Planning Commission recommended to council, and council supported your recommendations for that architecture in the corridor.
thank you.
Thank you.
Any other commissioner comments or?
Just want to say thank you to you gentlemen. Thank you to the Home to Suites brand. It's a great brand. I'm a fan of the architecture, and certainly more of a fan of your landscape design. So I really appreciate that. I just want to welcome you to the community.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for taking interest in the city of Indio. And I, echo the sentiments about the landscape plan. I feel like that to me is the one I'm always just looking at very closely. And I think you all did a good job. So thank you for taking that into consideration. And
Yeah. Also, I think it's a great location for the project, being that it's on the western side of that 111 corridor. That's very important to us. We'll bring in a lot of dollars coming from nearby cities, from La Quinta, Palm Desert. People who may be doing things in that area will come to Indio to stay, being that it's a nice property and affordable, I'm sure. I do recommend I do like the landscape plan. Just go maybe as tall as you can, especially on that entrance on those date palms, because those, really stand out and will really kind of, highlight that entrance point. But we're excited that you're taking interest in our city and want to bring this to our city.
I did have one more comment,
Yes.
if I may, Chairman. The one question I had for you, I'm not familiar with whether or not the brand has an opportunity to work in the community, providing back to the community in any way, shape, or form. Most notably, public schools, for example, that may have a hospitality, recreation, tourism pathway, or maybe there could be a partnership established for potential internships. Anything like that to your knowledge?
Sure.
With Hilton?
I hate to interrupt. Procedurally, you did close the public hearing, so if you would need to reopen it for a response.
Okay,
Yes.
we'll go ahead and
Thank you.
reopen the public hearing for to respond to that question.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
We work a lot with community colleges for partnerships and scholarships. We bring in interns a lot in our management side to work with the students to show them how the hotel business works. So we do that quite a bit. And so there's
Fantastic.
opportunity for that here.
Perfect. You'll be hearing from me.
Wonderful. Okay. So we'll close the public hearing and continue. Do we have any motions, commissioners?
I'll go ahead and make the motion to adopt resolution number 2036, a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Indio, California, approving design review DR 22-05-499 for the architecture, site plan, parking, circulation, and landscaping for the Home 2 Suites by Hilton Hotel and 2 restaurant or general retail pads located on 8653 Highway 111 and determine that the project is exempt from environmental review pursuant to section 332 class 32 infill development of the California Environmental Quality Act CEQA guidelines. And then we get invited to your groundbreaking. Just kidding.
I'd like to second that, please.
Okay, can we take a roll call vote, please?
Chairperson Isiano,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Rodriguez Saha,
yes,
Commissioner Lopez,
Yes.
Commissioner Fajardo,
Yes.
motion carries.
Wonderful. Thank you, gentlemen. Maribel, thank you for your presentation. Okay, next, I don't see anything regarding staff comments. Any commissioner comments? Kevin? It doesn't say staff comments, but you usually have something to say, I'm sure. Please.
Since it's not agendized, we technically cannot speak to things, but if commissioners have comments for us, and I apologize, it was a mishap on our end, but if the commissioners have questions for us, we can respond to those, but technically, because it's not agendized, I can't.
I have a
Nor can my
question,
team.
Kevin. Is there anything that you'd like to tell us about?
There we go. Thank you, Chair. That was great. So as I noted earlier, the City Council did approve the Highway 111 corridor specific plan. Tonight was kind of a guinea pig, if you will, for you, because that project had started and then it was kind of came at the latter end of that approval process. But we have several other projects that have been waiting for the approval of that plan and are gearing up several large projects along the corridor. You've heard from both of them in the past, Madison Point and Palmyra.
Mm-hmm.
Palmyra is the higher density residential project that's off of Requa and also Rubidoux area. And so that project, we're gearing up to bring that to you before the end of the calendar year. Madison Point is also that project, if you may remember, is a combination of senior living, hotel, and some retail and potential restaurant pad space. And that project is gearing up also to come before you for the end of the calendar year. At your next meeting, you will be considering the design review for Texas Roadhouse, which I know some folks have been very desirous of coming into our city. They've actually already been in processing their building plans with us. So if the commission does give approval, then it will be an opportunity for those building plans to be issued. So I'm going to cede my time to Kendra, who's going to talk to you about a couple other projects that are being worked on. Just so full disclosure, you see me sitting in the audience, and so I've ceded my chair to Kendra as well. So she'll be taking the lead position for the Planning Commission from now on. I'll be here obviously to support her and to support you, but I just wanted to let you know that I said it's the end of your fourth week. You're ready to sit in the chair, so I exited stage left. So I'm going to give up the mic over to Kendra to update you on a couple other projects that are being worked on. And we have a couple things. I will say there's a couple things that are not fully cooked yet, but we expect to be cooked pretty soon that we can bring to your attention. We're just out of respect that they're still kind of fomenting their plans. We're not going to fully publicize those yet. Kendra.
Kevin touched on a lot of the projects that I was going to be speaking with you guys about, but he saved a couple for me. So we have some apartments going in off of Oasis. The building department is receiving comments on those, so we're hoping to have those finalized and comments addressed soon. Those are going to be on Oasis and Bliss, and those are going to be new mixed-use four-story apartments with retail commercial portion on the ground floor. So that's one thing that is coming up. We also have two other apartments that are proposed to be coming to downtown as well, and those are also going to be off of Oasis. We're still waiting to finalize some work on that, but we're hoping to have those come to you guys soon.
So those all fall under the downtown specific plan?
They do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're covered by the EIR. Yeah, they're covered by the EIR for that area as well. So
great.
And then we just finished working on an expansion to the Tesla superchargers near Winco. So they're going to be expanding over there. They're kind of maintaining the same amount of electrical usage. They're tying into the existing. So that's going to be something that's coming up. And I don't know how much more we can talk about, but Kevin told me that I can and can't talk about certain things. I'm still kind of trying to find that fine line there. So, okay.
So, and the reason why I say that is earlier is because they're still fomenting plans, and it would be too early to bring that to your attention. But I can say generically that it is more restaurant opportunities that are being looked at. As well as we have some other projects that are gearing up that could be some employment generating projects. We're working, those are in very preliminary stages, but potentially opportunities for Indio citizens to be able to work in their community versus traveling out. So we have a lot of things. It's kind of an interesting time for us right now because we had this little bit of lull. You felt it as a commission, things kind of slowed down. The market's kind of changing around us. But right now, at least, and we'll see what the future holds. Right now, there still appears to be a lot of interest in Indio. You experienced that just earlier, and we still have folks coming in and talking to us about projects. So I think that's a good sign. I'm not saying that we won't be impacted by the economic headwinds, but I think our fundamentals are solid, and we're attracting, the type of folks that are interested in investing in our community in good projects. So, more to come in terms of details and. But the projects that we just explained, the other, just because Kendra mentioned Tesla, the Canopy Project, some of you are familiar with down by the Ralphs, they're also installing Tesla charging stations there too. And that project is, I don't know if you've been down there recently, but they are going crazy. And I was just told that the developer wants to be done by end of October. I have no idea how that's going to be accomplished because there's still a little bit of work to be done, but nevertheless, and I know he does have a goal of having the tenant space filled and operational by the first of the year. So that's all the restaurants. If you've been down there, you've seen the boards announcing the new restaurants and the new tenants, Merchants Bank, Luna's Pizza, Cork and Fork, Ryan and Ryan Jewelers, and there's some, there's a starts with a K. Cannot remember the name right now. Starts with a K. It's a kind of a 50s diner. Anyway, so that's
Keaty's.
Thank you.
Which is like a Palm Desert classic. So
Yes.
it'll be great to have them over here as well.
Yes, Kate. Thank you. I could not.
Keaty's.
Yes. So that's exciting. And so we're working with them to kind of round that out. The Rouse gas station is set to open very soon. So yeah, that's a really exciting project to kind of see to fruition. And we're excited that it's coming to kind of the end place where it's be, because they are basically fully leased out, which is exciting. They have one pad left next to the Merchants Bank, and they're in conversations with various end users. Thank you, Mechanics Bank. Thank you. So we'll find out who that is. That's kind of the holdout space that hasn't been assigned to someone yet, but they have a number of conversations according to the developer owner that are going on for that space. And as you may remember, the goal of that project was to be kind of a village concept. So if you have a chance to go to that, if you haven't been down there, you're starting to see the village part take hold. They're installing the water feature, which several of you got to review, and it's actually they're doing some interesting things to it. So I was talking to our building staff today, and it's going to be kind of cool what they're doing. And they've actually expanded the outdoor seating, which was an initial recommendation of the Planning Commission at that time. So they're making more outdoor seating opportunity. So that's an exciting project, and it's going to be pretty soon that everyone can visit that. And so yeah, there's a fair amount going on, and I think we're very lucky that there's still that continued interest in our city. So. Any other questions our team can answer for you?
Again, can we get a invite to the grand opening for the gas station, please?
Yes. So we have been asking folks, we need to train our clients a little bit better to let us know, because sometimes even though we ask, they forget. So yes, we will continue to make sure. And also I have talked to our economic development staff to make sure that if they're aware of anything, that they let us know so we can extend that information to you as soon as they are aware, because sometimes they find out and that doesn't always get up to through all the channels. So we'll make sure as much as we can to make sure that you're getting out there and letting, being part of the celebration of the new opportunities in our city. Okay. Any other questions we can answer for you guys?
I just wanted to make a comment about these types of projects that are coming in. To me, I think one of the things that we've been talking with the new housing element and the housing stock, and having these types of projects really offsetting the issues that we're seeing with short-term rentals, that sort of market being using up, housing that we have. I just want to say thank you for bringing projects like this. They're meeting a demand that we know that is within our city. And that is also contributing to some of the larger needs that we have as far as like housing. So I just want to say congratulations to your team. And I saw this project and I said, okay, this is something that we do really need, because then we get an influx all the time of visitors, and particularly at a time of the year. And so I know that short-term rentals, Airbnbs, all of that is very in right now, but being able to create new jobs with projects like this one that are also meeting sort of the needs of this community are important to me. So I just want to say thanks for helping push this through.
Thank you, Vice Chairperson. Actually, you reminded me that so right now in various stages, if it all comes to fruition, we have potentially upwards of about 1,000 affordable housing units that could be constructed in our city if all the projects come to fruition. So that's exciting to see. That's in addition to the Arroyo Crossing project that's currently under construction on Jefferson, south of Highway 111. And that project has 400 affordable housing units. So in a short amount of time, it's been kind of really cool to see, honestly. In less than a year, we've gone from limited interest to a lot of interest in the affordable housing project. Type of projects. And also we are starting to see I think the Palmyra projects is a good example of kind of a focus on what is often terms as the missing middle housing, which is, that it's not technically designated affordable housing, but it's that housing that is oftentimes kind of missing because it's either high-end housing or lower-end cost housing, but that middle. And so it's a big topic in the planning world, the missing middle housing. And so that's an example of a project that will respond to that. And I think we have some other examples that may come on that are trying to focus on a more reasonable price point. The Cocoa Palms project that you reviewed a couple of months ago, that project, the price points on that, well, I know they're still considered high. They are within the range of that missing middle housing, in that range of, somewhere, say, upper 300s to mid 450s, which I think, given the market forces at bay, at least in California, is still a good price. So we are seeing that, and that's a really great thing. And we are seeing, although we've seen a little bit of a dip in activity amongst our home builders, we're still seeing a fair amount of activity. We're still getting a lot of building permits coming in. We're still seeing a lot of building activity going on, and so yeah, it's a good thing to see, and we'll see what the future holds in terms of the economy, but we're doing everything we can to make sure that we're as customer service friendly and facilitating the city's growth and development while still meeting the goals and obligations of the adopted plans that you as a body recommended to council and the council has approved. Any other questions we can answer for you?
I just have one more question. If we can get some status updates on some of the housing we approved last year. Sure. I know we see the signs out, but I don't know if there's we can kind of get a report on where some of those projects are, and I'm kind of eager to find out what's going on with them.
That actually, yes, we can provide that information to you. It's actually a timely request, Commissioner, because we just put some information together for our economic development team that is out at several recent conferences, marketing the city. And so we have that background data. So I'd be happy to provide that to the Planning Commission in terms of, and it's cumulative. When you at the end of the day, you're going to see a significant number of housing units. Some of them have been entitled but never built. So I'll guess preview the number. It's close to 10,000 housing units. Not all of them are obviously going to be under construction, but the ones that are, we have noted.
Ones that are under.
Yeah, we've noted that.
You would just send out in an email, or is that something that you would discuss at another future meeting?
We can send that in an email. Obviously, please don't reply all to the email, but we'll provide that data to you as for your background. And if you have any follow-up questions, please contact Kendra or myself directly, so we avoid any Brown Act situations. But happy to provide that information. And if there's other information, we do get kind of busy and sometimes tunnel vision. So if there's information that you as a body are looking for, please don't hesitate to ask us. You can contact us directly or ask us at a meeting like this, and we'll make sure we'll get it to you because we have that information. It's just sometimes we need to be reminded to share it.
I just had a quick follow-up, if I may. Are the residents updated on these types of projects by way of the monthly newsletter that the city puts out or publishes?
Yeah, I mean, we do put out information. We are working with our marketing and communications folks to gather information. One of the things we are working on that I've asked Kendra to make sure that happens, we've been delayed, unfortunately, a couple of times, is by the end of the calendar year, we will have an interactive development tracking map. So other communities around us, Coachella has one, La Quinta has one. And so you'll be able to go on as a citizen. You'll be able to look at the map. It'll be designated so that the different developments that are going on in the city, you can click on that and you'll get the information. So that's a long hold goal we've had so that we're going to make active by the end of this calendar year. So that'll be a resource. So you can go on instantaneously and look at that. But we are, as things become available, we are sharing that information mostly through social media.
Fantastic. Thank you, Kevin.
Regarding some of the requesting some information, I think something that I would be interested in knowing is I know that there were a lot of applications that were being submitted earlier in the year, TCC, ATP. I'm not really sure exactly how many of those things we went for after as a city. So I'd be interested to get maybe an inventory list. And then when should we be expecting some response from the state regarding our funding?
So we did get an active transportation grant for Jackson, $5 million. And so that project is being designed right now. The city also got a $9 million grant for the Indio Sports Park. And then we did apply for a Transformative Climate Communities grant for the Jewel community, which is the area around east of Jackson, north of Avenue 45, and kind of bounded on the north by the Whitewater Channel. And that was for $34 million, a variety of projects. And so we will hopefully know the answer to whether we are a recipient of that funding by the end of October. And we're hopeful. And we put together, I think, a really good application, but we will know, we should know hopefully the staff recommendation by mid-October, and then the board, it's called the Strategic Growth Council that oversees that fund, and they are scheduled to meet at the end of October to make their final decisions. And so fingers crossed, it would be the biggest grant the city's ever received. And it would truly be impactful for that area. We're talking everything from sidewalk constructions to installing more trees, to completing the Indio Sports Park, to making major improvements. In addition to the active transportation grant we got for Jackson, there'll be more money to do more improvements along there. We're talking about broadband installation. So it would really just uplift that area that is one of the older areas of the city, and just hasn't had the opportunity to get some of the investments that other parts of our community have. And this is a great opportunity, taking advantage of this grant opportunity. So fingers crossed, we're very excited about the potential and hopeful that we will be recipients.
All right. Well, then we will adjourn our Planning Commission meeting until next planning meeting, October 12th, 2022. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
I like that hotel.